Life is tough. Life can be difficult. Life can be hard. There are times when you wake up in the morning and you're laying in bed and you're wondering to yourself, do I even want to exist? Do I even want to be here? Do I even want to breathe? And when you think like this, you have to really think about the things that are important to you. You have to think about the things that you want in life, the things that you want to accomplish in life, and who you really want to become. Because if you lay there and think about what you're not, it'll only get worse. What you're not then becomes amplified, and you'll start to think down on yourself even more than you do now. So you can't think about your faults. You have to think about where you want to be. And when you do think about your faults, you have to devise a plan to improve those faults. You can't just say, I want to get better. You can't just say, I want to improve. You have to start by picking up a pen and a pad and writing down what you want to improve about yourself. And then once you have done that, you can write down how you will go about improving yourself. Because for every action, there has to be a plan to execute that action. Because if not, you will just run around in circles over and over and over. And then when you do find some success, you will always quit before you reach your goals. So you gotta have a plan in order to execute that action. So that way, when you make progress and you wanna quit, because it will be difficult. So when you make progress and you wanna quit, you can look back at that plan. You can look back at your goals and you can get back after it. Because it's not about being perfect. It's not about always doing the right things. It's about setting a process, setting a protocol for you to move by, for you to live by, for you to fall back on when it gets tough. Because when it gets tough, there will be times that you will fail in those moments. There will be times where you will quit in that moment. There will be times where you will falter in that moment. But if you have a plan and a process and a long-term goal, you will get back on that path. And that is what is most important, is getting back on that path. Sometimes we tend to think that we have to be perfect and we can't fail one time or we can't fail twice. And if we do fail once, then it's over. I just can't do it. And that is the wrong mentality. Because we have to understand it's not about never falling down. It's all about getting up when you fall down. Because life will knock you on your butt every now and then. And actually quite often. But you have to get up. You have to look to yourself for that motivation. You have to look to yourself for that validation. You can't expect it from your coaches. You can't expect it from your bosses. You can't expect the validation to come from your friends. It is up to you to write down your goals and write down each small step that it will take to get to your goals in order to validate yourself. Because if you do that, then you will have all of the affirmations that you need to understand that you are doing the right things. And believe me, when you do that, you will begin to see results. You will have a process of discipline to follow. And when you see those little results this day, and when you see those little results the day after that, and when you see those little results the day after that, you will feel great. And you will feel very motivated and empowered to continue, because you will validate yourself. It is not about your boss validating you. It is not about your coaches validating you. It is not about your friends validating you. You will validate yourself. And when you can validate yourself, that is more powerful than anything possible, because you will know that you are capable of accomplishing what you set out to accomplish. And after you do that, you will know that you can do anything that you set your mind to. And that is powerful. But you have to validate yourself. You have to look into yourself for those affirmations. And you can't just repeat them to yourself without giving yourself a daily plan. You have to get on a schedule and you have to follow it. And even when you fall off of that schedule, it's simple. Just get back on it. If you're dieting and you're trying to lean up and you fall off, fine. But then get back right and get after it. Don't stay off of it. Don't stay down when you fall down. Get back up. But you have to validate yourself. And that starts with believing in yourself and believing that you are worthy of the success. You know, in this day and age, we are in this social media age where we see everyone on Instagram and TikTok, and they're all so perfect and they only post their highlights. You got to understand that is the highlights of their life. That is not the truth. And you have to find your highlights to keep you moving, but understand that there's going to be the lowlights as well that you got to fight through. For it is the failures that will make you highly successful, but you have to learn from that. But you got to learn how to validate yourself. You have to learn how to believe in yourself. You have to learn how to pick yourself up when you fall down. You have to learn how to need yourself when you feel unhappy. And sometimes we have to be happy being alone and finding comfort in ourselves, being comfortable in our own skin and loving ourselves. But we have to validate ourselves. And you have to validate yourself too.